What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning back in today for another awesome deck profile. We have Kenneth on the PX3 One Piece team. My man came in the top 64, 42nd overall, I believe. Was it Kenneth? Yep. KayC, man. So he piloted Whitebeard again, and this guy is an absolute beast with the deck, going X and 2. Well done. So we'll dive straight into it. We'll start off with your matchups, man.
Yeah.
How did they go through the day for you?
Yeah, so round one I faced Lucci. Unfortunately, I got E-shot out of the game, so it took a radical beam and the 2K counter, and that's sort of like, that's all it is to say. This is lost without counters. And then round two I faced the Zoro, so that got the win there, and then I think it was a Zoro again.
Zoro, yeah.
And then a Katakuri, which I lost. That was my second loss. And then won a Katakuri, and then won about 3 or 4 Zoros in a row. So in total, there were 5 Zoros, and I came 5-0 against all the Zoros. So
wow,
I feel pretty confident in the matchup. But yeah, it's just the Lucci that I'm kind of afraid of. But other than that, I think it's a really, really solid build. If you guys want to take it to the next regionals, I think this is a really solid choice.
Awesome. All right, let's dive straight into the profile. Starting off on this end.
Perfect. Yeah. So you got your 4 Izzo. So this is the reason why Whitebeard is so strong now. You get to sort of look at the top 5 cards and put a Whitebeard card in your hand. So this is essentially your sort of turn 1 play. So it's pretty strong. And most of the time I'm looking for the Whitebeard Pirate Searcher, and or like sort of the 9-cost Whitebeard, which is good against the matchups like Law and Zoro. So yeah, that's your main searcher for the deck. Beautiful. Moving on, we have your 2K counters. So I played 12 2K counters in this deck. You have your 4 Otamas, 4 Makinos, and your 4 Jozus.
Pretty standard with the Otamas and the Makinos and that. Yep. Yeah,
pretty standard. The only 2K I really like sort of used to cheese out the game is Makino, so it's really, really strong. I think that was during one of the winner box in the locals. I had 3 Makinos in hand, and I went like sort of 3 Makinos into Izzo, so that's 11k, and the opponent did not expect that one. So so I think the Makino is usually the one that I can sort of use, but other than that, everything else is pretty much a 2k counter.
Yep.
Otama can be used for the sort of a Whitebeard as well, to maybe in the mirror or against Zoro, to sort of net on the Mako. And then you sort of use the 9-cost Whitebeard to push through and kill the blocker Mako, which is pretty annoying to get through. So that can be used as well for the Otama.
Such a good card.
It is. Moving on to the vanillas, I have 4 costs, so I just had a 2-2 split. Not much of a difference. I just enjoy putting a bit different, but you can play 4 Atmos, so 4 Speed Jill doesn't really matter. And then I play 2 King Deal as well. I feel that King Deal is really, really good because it allows me to just drop a good body on turn, especially going first.
Yep.
For this deck, you generally want to go second, but being put first, your curve gets a bit awkward. So King Deal is perfect to fit into that turn 3. If not, you probably wouldn't have anything to play other than your 4 drops.
Yep. And you felt pretty comfortable with just 2 in the deck for King 2?
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of change it around, but I think for now, or for the event, I felt that 2 was a good number, but that might be sort of, up and down for the next few events, depending.
Yep.
And then you have your 3 Thatches here, so Thatch is just perfect because the deck wants to go second, and it's pretty much, playing on curve as well. The reason why I dropped 1, I think, like I said, just to make space for the King Deal, and also I think just to make the Whitebeard matchup a bit better, but unfortunately I did not face any of the Whitebeards. So kind of like most of the time I'm using it as a counter, but I also played it as a vanilla on turn 3 going second.
Who'd think you'll be versing 5 Zoros instead?
Yeah. So.
Alright.
Right, the Marcos are like the MVP. You have your 4 blocker Marcos and your 4 5-cost Marcos. These Marcos are really like what makes the red decks so strong.
No, these cards are just busted.
So busted. I mean, you just ditch like any Whitebeard card. You can ditch the event card as well to get this back, and also for the Marco you can only ditch event cards, but it's so resilient, and it sort of sets you up lethal in so many turns. So these are really the MVP of the deck. So buy your copies of Marco while you can.
Yeah. That's such a good card.
Yeah.
Awesome card, and the art on them, all alts as well, which are beautiful. Alright, now going up here.
Yep, so I played 2 aces. I think the aces are great against decks like the Katakuri and Lucci, just sort of to neck the big bodies down, so that your vanillas can attack into it. I used to play 3, but I cut that into 2 because of there's no counter value in it, and you just don't want it to be too many in your hand. It gets a bit too clunky. Depending on your meta, if you are facing a lot of Katakuri and Lucci, I might suggest putting a 3rd copy. I'm thinking of doing that actually, to put a 3rd copy for the local meta, but 2 I felt that was a good number, and you just don't want to see too many of it.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what to say.
The big man himself.
The big man himself.
Yeah.
I mean, this is essentially what the deck is built around. 9-cost Newgate. I think the only advice I can give is, against Zoro, you just want to see it in your opening hand, or if you're Izo or Searcher, just get it into your hand as soon as possible and let the big man carry you.
Yep, and we know what he does. He's such a good card.
Such a good card.
You can win so many games off, just off the back of this guy. So,
pretty much, and you're just. I think the aim of the game is just chaining new gates after new gates, and it's very hard for the opponent to come back from that.
Moving on to the events, eh?
Yeah, so I play a total of 11 events. So 4 Radical Beams, best red event in the game. The 4 Whitebeard Pirate Searcher to sort of find what you need at any given time. And I only play 3 guard point. I cut off 1 guard point. I found that playing that 4 sometimes can be clunky because often than not you're playing sort of like using all your Dawn in your turn, especially like from turns 1 to 4. So like sometimes the event can get a bit clunky in hand, so I decided to cut it down to 3, which I think is a good number, but I might experiment back to 4 again and see how we go. But yeah, that's the deck overall. I'm pretty happy with how we went, and so
awesome. That's the profile, guys. And KayC, he came in also the top 8 in last Treasure Cup as well, which was an absolute awesome job, man. So you've been having a good run lately, and couldn't be more happier to have you on the team, man. Been doing wonders for us. So you've seen it here, guys. So remember always, is there any shout outs as well before we head off?
Yeah, just shout out to my teammates. Shannon came first. What an amazing player. I mean, he's been so consistent in the last 4 or 5
Shannon's
events.
our goat.
Coming in like top 2, then top 4 and top 8. It's just and finally he got the win. So it's very good for the Perth community here. I think he shouted out to the sort of the local community here as well in Perth. Strong players in the locals, and obviously to my teammates and sponsors as well for testing with me, and Eternal Magic and Beyond for providing us jackets and things like that. That's wonderful. So but yeah, just everyone.
We do what we can. We keep the grind up, man. That's it. So, as always, guys, remember to like and subscribe and to hit that bell to stay notified. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks, KayC.